She's funny, she's smart, she craves chocolate every day, and she is the Greek goddess of comedy. Here is your host, Ellen Karis.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Karis' Comedy Corner. My name is Ellen Karis, and you are joining the guest edition of Karis' Comedy Corner that we do the latter half of the week, and I'm very excited about our guest today. She is a wonderful friend of mine, and I cannot wait to catch up with her, with you guys involved in the conversation. First, we got to start with our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Baywalk Marketing. Go to their website, baywalk.net, for all of your advertising and marketing needs. They can help you with any type of a flyer. They can help you analyze the demographics of your business. They are experts in the Greek community. Go to their website, hollywoodgreeks.com, to find out where all the Greek entertainment is, and hellenicfestivals.org to find out where the Greek festivals will be. And I promise you, in 2021, they will be lambs on spits. Believe me, nothing is going to stop us from eating. Our other sponsor is Select Flex. What is it? It's an orthotic. What's an orthotic? It's also called an insert, and you put it in your shoe. Why do you need it? Your entire body needs this. Your hips, your knees, your shins, your ankles. Obviously, it starts from your feet, your entire alignment. I have these in every pair of shoes that I own, and the genius of these is they have an adjustability in the arch where they can adjust your arch to firm, extra firm, or extra, extra firm, depending on what your needs are. I never work out without these. They are fantastic. Go to their website, selectflex.com, selectflex.com, and there's a 30-second video. Check it out. And for Karis Comedy Corner listeners, there's a 25% discount. Yes, if you type in the code FAMILY25, FAMILY 25, you get a 25% discount because you are like family to me, except we get along. So check them out. They are fantastic. I always say this, that it is the best invention since suitcase on wheels. All right. We are here. I am excited. My friend, fellow comedian, actress, podcaster, producer, writer. This woman has done it all. And it's funny because we had a little technical difficulty getting on. And it's even more interesting because we live so close to each other that I can probably open my window and we can just do this that way.
Right. Right.
But anyway, that's not the way it works. And it's Mercury retrograde. So please welcome my guest, repeat guest, because she did visit us a few years ago, Marla Schultz. Thank you so much.
Hello.
You look great. You look great. What? Oh my gosh. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm watching YouTube videos and playing and putting on makeup and dressing from the waist up. You know, I'm just trying to turn over a new leaf. You look great too.
You know what I did? I'm covering up. I did the glasses. I got the hat. I just like, you know what? I realized that I can't not wear red lipstick. Like it's like walking out without a bra. I mean, that's like how essential it's become, because it just adds a little something to my face, which is not aging well. But anyway, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And I want to just tell everybody that Marla came to the Brooklyn studio. Okay, so this is how long ago it was, because this is like the 7th season of Karis Comedy Corner. And I was at the comic strip, which you didn't get to come to, which is closer, of course, to where you live, but you schlepped to Brooklyn because you're a wonderful human being. And in the middle of a Monday afternoon, because that was the only time I could get, like 4 years ago. I mean, the time is like that. So if you want to hear all about Marla's journey into comedy, check that podcast out. That was in season 2, and that's on my website. So we're just going to catch up and see what she has been up to. How are you doing? I know the pandemic. I can't even say the word anymore. It's so, I'm like, stop. You know what? I want people to stop saying pandemic because they're putting it out in the universe. Just stop.
Agreed.
It's like it's a thing and it's almost over. That's it. That's it. I can't. Like,
Well, first of all, so do you wear the red lipstick every day to give yourself a little boost, zhuzh?
Well, not if it's just me and my husband, because really at this point, it doesn't matter what I do. What's the point? But I try when I at least get on camera not to scare anybody that's watching. I try to put it on. But it's been almost a year since we've been in this thing, right? And I would say it was like very up and down. Like when it first happened for, I would say the first month or two, I was like, it's not going to get me. I'm going to put the makeup on. As a matter of fact, I think around the first week or two, like the gym, like my dance studio was still open. I was like, you got to go in the sauna. I'm taking pictures of the sauna. I'm like,
yes,
the sauna is very good for you. And you got to do that. Like all of a sudden, oh my God, I got 22 chins. And all of a sudden, meanwhile, then that was it. There was no sauna because there was no gym, because there was no, like, you couldn't go out. Like who the freaking thought that was going to happen? I did keep up with my workouts. I would say
good for you.
Consistently. And I'll tell you why. One, my head. I had to do it for my head. Two, quite frankly, if I don't work out, I actually feel like I'm stiff. You know what I'm saying? It like gets the blood going. And also for medicinal purposes, just to sweat things out, I think that's like, that's better. That's better than taking medicine. Between that and obviously some good probiotics and vitamin C and D, and everybody should be doing that regimen. So, but very hard. And God, I love to eat and graze, and I mean that's oh God, that was tough.
We share that, you and we share that, and I'm sitting. I love swimming. I love the sauna. I love sweating and Pilates and everything. And I developed fibromyalgia just from being under so much stress. And I don't want to do opioids, and I'm not into the pain stuff, but eating sugar is like the worst thing.
Right.
But also I'm not buying into the diagnosis. It's like getting motivated. I'm just going to be like, okay, stress does awful things to your body. I've been under so much stress, living in an apartment with a husband and a dog. I started feeling like I was under house arrest, and this close to becoming a statistic.
Right.
And we're not talking divorce. We're talking murder one. But over the summer, I started renting cars, and I just was like craving nature, because I don't know. Listen, I have a dog. I don't know. You walk around the streets, it's like dog shit central. There's dog shit everywhere.
So Marla and I have so much in common, aside from being comedians and a lot of our personality traits, and we are both Upper East Side.
And issues.
We are both yes, issues like you have no idea. We live on the Upper East Side, which we love, we love. And I'm sure you feel the same way. It has been painful to see our beautiful neighborhood, obviously not just our neighborhood, but we're very territorial about our neighborhood, and we love it. And it's been very sad to watch the demise, and that went very quickly. That went like down in like a brick like a brick in the
hot second.
So that was sad. And it's interesting because what you just said, I don't consider myself a big nature person. I mean, I appreciate it and I think it's great. I mean, obviously if I loved being around the trees, I wouldn't live in a New York City apartment, right? But I have to say that after this experience and not having, we don't have a country house, a place to go, or this or that. My sister lives in Jersey. Yeah, I can go there, but it's her house. You know what I'm saying? It made me appreciate it more. So I know exactly what you're saying. Like all of a sudden, like going over to the river and just looking at the East River.
Water, yes.
A trip to the river. It's just like crazy.
And the Talking Heads wrote like one of my favorite songs about that. Take me to the river, tell me in the ocean, But no, it is, and I blame. It has to be De Blasio, because he's such a piece of shit. And I mean, really, there's dog shit everywhere, and you would think our neighbors would want to, pitch in and pick up the dog shit.
You know, it's interesting you say that, and thanks for saying the De Blasio thing. And I really try to be a fair person. I don't do too much politics, but things tend to blend into politics. I just want everybody to be happy. I really do.
Me too.
I want a good world. That's all I want. And I don't even care. I don't care where it comes from. You know what I mean? I want peace. I want people to be able to prosper. I'm a very big accountability person. Unless
Me
you
too.
have some really severe issues mentally, I get it. I'm compassionate, but everybody like has to help themselves. I can't, we
Right.
can't play this blame game. Well, this happened 400 years ago. Let's move on. Be a good person.
Stop qualifying. Blame the fucker. Come on.
Exactly. Just like enough is enough. And but
Terrible.
I've been doing actually a ranty podcast once a week, and then we have a guest. But if a guest is from New York City, we can't help but start talking about it.
Right.
And this man, you know what I say about De Blasio? He has no soul. Even when he looks in the camera, it's empty. It's really empty. And you know what? I don't want anything bad to happen to him. For the most part, I don't like most politicians, but I don't want anything bad to. I just want them to go away. That's it.
Yeah.
Go do something else. I don't care. Just please. This is you. You don't know what you're doing, or you have this agenda that does not meet what the populace wants. And I completely agree with you. And it is like a little disappointing that our fellow Manhattanites, like we haven't revolted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you see what's crime, homelessness, the whole thing, the garbage, the whole thing.
The needles down. And, I had a hand surgery, and my doctor was like, he's stepping over heroin addicts and just everything. But I knew we were going to have a problem when, after De Blasio, after, God bless Mayor Bloomberg, he just cleaned up the city and it became safe, and it was just thriving. I mean, the bike lanes.
Me too. No. I say you're not going to COVID. You probably will be okay. You're going to get hit by a bike before you're going to get COVID. But wait, excuse me. Everybody needs to know the bikers also go the opposite direction. So it's not just
worst.
Like, it's like you're crossing the street, you've got the light, the cars have stopped, you've looked, they're coming, and they come quicker than a car, because a car you can see. So there's been no accountability for that. There's been no law. I mean, for a city that's supposed to have so many laws, and that is like the one thing. They have no license at night. Some of them drive, they have no light. I mean, and because of the lockdown, quasi-lockdown, whatever you want to call this thing that we're in, people have also relied more on home delivery of all sorts. So there's been more and more bikers, but I completely agree with you. And it's like, I want to have a Manhattan protest of like, just like the crime, the whole bit, like a real,
agreed,
not violent, not destruction. That's ridiculous. Just a real, like, take our city back, a revolt, take our city back. We want businesses to thrive. It's awful. And have you had a chance to talk to any of the business owners around to like ask them about how it's been? What has been, what have they said to you?
Well, my favorite diner, I love the guys across the street, and they're just, they're like homies, like Long Island, and you go in there and he's like, Paul, and he was, saying, and Hunter Biden and blah, 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 blah. And I just said to him, okay, you got to stop. If it wasn't for President Putin, not issuing and taking science seriously and wearing masks, we wouldn't be in this, and if I don't get, when I hear, someone go, the economy is thriving. Really? Walk up and down the Upper East Side. How many empty buildings are there? The restaurants, they're like struggling. People are out of work. It's crazy.
No, I agree. I'll tell you, I watch the stock market a lot. And businesses like Amazon, like Target, like the big corporations.
Sure.
Bed Bath, sort of, a Peloton. Peloton.
Let me tell you something. Bed Bath and Beyond, they can kiss my ass. Do you know I bought a George Foreman grill and the thing broke on like day 91. 1 day after the 3-month warranty. And I said, it's a piece of shit, it broke. And so I got approval. I sent it back. It was broken. Those motherfuckers, they sent it back to me. They spent $30 and they sent it back to me. And I opened it up and I was like, why are they sending me back? So I had to call up again. And then I sent it back and they sent it back again. Never am I going to shop in that Bed Bath and Beyond. They're like beyond ridiculous.
The one on the Upper East Side closed, so you don't have to worry about that. But what I was gonna really, that's unusual because usually they're pretty good with their return. But
twice.
Wow, that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
So I think that Costco's, those have thrived. Anything sort of athletic wear, it all depends. Small business, and they'll continue to be fine. Whole Foods and all that, which is Amazon. But yes, small businesses, and in particular in New York City, where honestly it has been small business unfriendly for a long time. I mean, this thing just put the nail in the coffin and really put everybody over the edge. But it's been like that for a lot of regulations and all kinds of taxes and all kinds of crazy, the rents, obviously. So I know, I agree with you. I think it really depends on your situation, in terms of
but home delivery, it would be so great to come up. Like my husband and I were thinking, like, what business can we do? Because, to make the home lockdown, I forget house arrest more enjoyable. And I'm at a loss, Ellen. So I want to put your heads together. I would be happy to come up with something. But I just want to say, I knew we were going to have a problem with de Blasio, and then I'm going to move off. Yeah. When he got up for his inauguration and he was so rude and so disgusting and just slamming Bloomberg. I was like, we're going to have a problem with this guy. And, anyway, I wish.
It's a bigger thing, but he's so anti-cop. And listen, a wrong is a wrong is a wrong. Of course, you don't just pick somebody off the street because of what they look like. I mean, we can all agree on that. That's totally fine. We get it. That's being a human being.
Right.
But when you have repeat offenders, look, we just happened on the A train. I won't get into it. Everybody, you can Google it, but there was a horrible situation. The subways have become horrible. It's the 70s, 60s all over again.
Right.
And this is on him. This is on him. So he really is a disgrace. And like I said, just nothing. The $1 billion that was allocated to his wife to help the homeless, it is worse than ever. But it was already brewing. It was already brewing prior to this. So I know. I cry for our beautiful neighborhood, here, there. I mean, 2 years ago at this time, you couldn't get a dinner reservation on a Saturday night, a Broadway ticket, a this and that. I mean, it's just,
So I bought a car.
You did?
Yes, I bought a car because we were renting cars. I was like losing my shit. I got to get out of this city. And plus, it was like Russian roulette. Costco travel. I got a BMW for $800 for I think it was like 2.5 weeks, which is, I treated myself. But anyway, that's not the car I bought. Just I will run and I do errands. I'll drive around, the city. I'll go pick people up. Or where do you want to go? Just to get in the car. I drive around.
So where are you parking the car? Are you doing the street parking or are you doing a garage?
No, downstairs, garage.
You're doing the garage. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly the only way to go.
Because you would think all these people dumping out of the city, there'd be parking. It's worse. You can't find parking.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. So where are you going? So when you get in, let me ask you something. Have you and your husband thought about moving or getting another place? If that's, possible. I mean,
we just started looking. I mean, because I want a bigger apartment and I need trees. I mean, I'm on right around, at least you're close. You have trees. I'm right by the hospital and, I want quiet. I want quiet. I want a bigger apartment. I wanted to get more bang for our buck. We started looking. I was down at Battery Park City. They got dog parks. I love it. Boom, COVID hit. Boom. The value of our apartment has dropped, but it's coming back up.
Right.
However, what about you?
We actually did move, but a few blocks away. We did another rental. I'll tell you off air. I'm still close to you, but we did do another rental, and we got a better deal. So it was time to.
We own, and we're not going to own anymore. I want to rent. And
right. Yeah.
Friends, they were here. They got like a giant apartment for like half of what they were paying for a teeny 1-bedroom. You're smart.
Or at least was up, like the timing was, we originally had asked them back in like April or May. They're like, hey, your lease isn't up. You got to wait. So we waited it out. And then, anyway, I'll tell you about that offline, but we did move. That was an experience in and of itself. Lots of paper and crap and just, the purging. Oh God. And listen, we still have stuff, but listen, I'm very faithful. I think everything happens for a reason. God definitely was ready for us to leave. We definitely needed it. We have a much airier apartment with light, which meant nice. I mean, I never realized how crappy and scratched up our furniture was because we lived in a dark place. So it was good, but I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore about it. I definitely would love to get a place. My husband was like, you want to move to Long Island? You want to move here? But I love Long Island. I mean, if I had to pick a place like Long Island, Westchester, even Bergen County, but I just feel like if I go there, I know what's going to happen is like, then things will turn around and then I'm never going to come back. Like I'm not getting on buses and trains and going back at midnight on Penn Station. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So it's either this or nothing, My cousin was like, oh, she lives in the Port Washington area. I love people from the suburbs. It's only 25 minutes on the train. No, it's not. Okay. You have to leave your house. And then you have to get to the train station. And let's assume you don't live across the street from the train station, right? It's like a little bit of a ways. So then you get there. And then it's not like you get there and then you get on the train and it pulls out. It's like you've got to give yourself 5-10 minutes. And then it's 25 minutes from the time they close the doors, maybe to the time they roll into Penn Station. That's providing everything is okay. But okay, I'll give you that. And then you got to get out of the train. You got to get out of Penn Station and go to wherever you're going. So it's not 25 minutes. Stop saying it's 25 minutes.
Correct. Correct. No, it's because then, it's a half an hour to go from Penn Station and then you got to ride on the subway. No, I that's another reason. I don't want to ride on the subways. I don't want to get hit in the head by some crazy guy.
I know.
Cray. I know. It's so crazy.
What's happening with comedy with you? What are you doing creatively?
Creatively, I'm still going through all my material. I have a outline for a book, finding the time and the motivation and the discipline. That's really been getting in my way, but things are turning around. So I am being positive. I'm doing a couple of online shows. I've done a bunch of speaking gigs, created programs for some online women's conferences. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. And my mom has cancer, so she's had a bit of a kind of a hiccup, and she's a 3.5-year pancreatic cancer survivor, which is unbelievable. And I've had to go back and forth a lot. So, being a caretaker and dealing with the insurance companies, that really puts a crimp in things. And, just trying to get motivated to go out and walk and just, I'm affirming good things. Listen, I was breastfed negativity. So it's a real muscle that I have to develop like 24/7 all day. Flip this switch. I mean, Abraham Hicks, constantly. But I have to believe that, you have to look for good things. And I have this little ball of love, this little delicious,
Cute. How old is he?
delicious. And everybody assumes she's a boy.
I'm sorry. I just say he in just in
I
general.
do too.
Yeah.
She's 2. She just turned 2.
Oh,
So
that's
she's still a
sweet.
little baby.
That's sweet. That's sweet. See, now I mean, look, I've known you for a long time. You have hustled forever.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know you grew up on Long Island. You spent a lot of time out in LA. You were on the LA scene. You were a writer. You did a ton of things, lots of TV, writing, all kinds of, all the clubs out there.
Yep.
And, and then you came back here and you reestablished yourself here. So, you say, I mean, motivation, sometimes it, and when you have obviously the illness and stuff, and people don't, unless you experience it, you don't understand how draining it is. And for somebody like you that's always been a doer and a creator and a hustler, for work and everything, it affects you. I mean, you're only human, it really sucks you. And after you have spent 3 hours with 14 people at the insurance company and this and that, and you're on hold and fax and send the same fucking form that you say 14 times or tell the same story that you've said and the whole thing, it's like, you're done. You just want to watch TV, or just veg out. So I could totally understand. Plus, hard to be motivated when we don't know what's happening in our industry. I mean, will there be performance? Of course, yes, we know that. It's in the world that is not coming to an end. We know that. The problem is we don't know when. Have you been doing any virtual stand-up shows, any private shows like that? Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it's, listen, we've been doing stand-up for a long time, and what jokes work. But sometimes I find on a Zoom call, it can kind of throw you because, especially if you're talking and it's not or even if it's gallery view, but then it flicks to like speaker view and you say something. And if somebody's like, and you just see them like, this or picking their nose, rooting out the food in their teeth. It's just, you just have to keep plugging along because it's a weird thing to get used to, and you just have to go into autopilot and say, you know what, I know this material is really good. It's worked 100 times, 1,000 times. But it's not, I don't get the same, zing, the adrenaline rush from the Zoom shows, but, women's conferences, they're good. How about you?
I have been doing quite a few Zoom shows. I've said this before. The first few were very rough. I had to kind of figure it out. I'll never forget the first family that they wanted some comedy. Is fun. You'll appreciate this. It was a week into the pandemic, and I get an email. And the guy, maybe 10 days, and he goes, into like the official lockdown. And it was some family, I don't know who they were, but from the Upper East Side. It was like a guy with his girlfriend and like their respective kids. And they rented a house in the Hamptons. And the guy goes, we're bored and we want some entertainment. And every time I tell this story, I think of these people because I'm like, if they were bored then, they must have ate each other by now. Like, I can't imagine that they, are still walking around, half of them being alive or talking to each other. So anyway, I was like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. I wrote some jokes, this and that. And I remember it was very tough. Their connection was bad. There was only like 12 of them or something. They were sitting, they had a dog. The dog is walking back and forth. I mean, everything that you would not experience, obviously, in a live comedy show. Not that those are ever perfect, of course, but it's completely different. It's a different energy. I literally just turned it on automatic pilot. I just did my thing and that was it. I didn't feel good about it. And then I think I did another one. It was better. And then I would say by my third one, I was on a show with other comics, people that we know. And And
How was that?
and that was really good. And a few people went before me. And then that I got like, I had a good set and I felt, good about it. Again, not the same as being in the same room, but at least it was good. Like I just wanted to deliver. And,
Sure.
and I've actually done a bunch. And I have to say that Christmas, the holidays, I did pretty well because there were a lot of companies that they normally do like a holiday party, they go out, whatever, and they couldn't do that anymore. So I wound up doing that. Of course, you have to adjust the money because you're not going there live and that, but hey, it was fine. And it was fun. And I looked at it as fun. It was good. It was good. I can't complain, but I certainly can't wait to go, till this is over and not
Sure.
doing this. And, we all have to do whatever it is we have to do, but at least I feel like I've kept the muscle going. But it's so funny. Like last week, I didn't do any stand up and I feel rusty already. So where if it's a live thing, when things go back to normal, when things were normal, if you felt that way, you just went out someplace and, got on stage, Broadway, whatever, and just, did what you needed to do. So.
Hey, listen, if anybody's looking for somebody, I would appreciate you.
Oh,
throw
yeah,
them my
sure.
name.
For sure.
I would appreciate it.
For sure. I feel like I feel like I just had, okay, go ahead. I'll keep it in I feel like somebody I said something to somebody about getting another comic, but I can't remember who it was. But if that was the case, I will let you know.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. And vice versa. I've done a lot of LA shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm up at midnight when I would prefer to be binge watching my favorite shows. I can't even, if you need any suggestions, I have love. I am all over that. And I'm also obsessed with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And I don't know why. I loved him. But the fact that the news media, I read the Daily Mail, I read the Times, I watch the BBC.
I read the Daily Mail, that I do.
And they talked about Prince Harry's bunions on his feet. And why the F is that news? I mean, I think it's great to have another kid. I don't know how I feel about the whole Megxit and them leaving. I feel like she knew what she was getting into. And Harry like leaving his whole family. But then again, after watching The Crown, they're like icky people.
I have not watched The Crown. Okay, so I don't binge watch because by the time I get into bed, I'm super tired. I do like a Seinfeld rerun, and like that's about all I can handle. My husband has watched every show imaginable. But I have like an announcement. I wish I had like announcement music, because anybody that's been listening to me knows I don't really binge watch, which I know sounds ridiculous, right? But hey, I still have a landline and I use Hotmail, so there you go. Go ahead and judge me. I don't care. But not you. I mean America. But I don't know what happened to me. What I do like? I like movies. This is why I don't binge watch, because it's a commitment. So I like movies because there's a beginning, middle, and an end. And I like documentaries. I love a documentary.
Yes.
I love a documentary. So the Ralph Lauren one, the Natalie Wood, Amy Winehouse. I love all the documentaries.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Mia Farrow.
Yes, but did you see the Britney Spears one?
That's on my list. That just came out, right? That just came out.
Oh, on Hulu.
Yeah.
These parents that are sycophants, it is so awful. It is so awful. And what about Hiding in Plain Sight? Did you see that one?
No. What is that?
Oh my God. It's about this pedophile who befriended this family, had an affair with the father, had an affair with the mother, and became obsessed with the 10 or 11-year-old girl. And he talked the parents into allowing him to sleep in the same room. And he kidnapped her twice. How crazy is that? It just freaks me out.
When you hear stories like this, you go, all right, so my sister has no filter. So my other sister, calls me for a favor every 10 seconds. It's not so bad. You know what I mean? Like when you hear it, it's like
Absolutely.
insane. I know, but it's really scary. No, I didn't see that. I will watch the way that you're obsessed with Meghan Markle. I'm up kind of obsessed with the Woody Allen, Mia Farrow thing. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. Uh, I'm always on the side, of course, of the victim, no question. But there's something very off kilter about Mia Farrow, and I always feel like I wouldn't put it past her to. It would be a horrible thing, but to have uh, convinced her little girl. There's always like a little thing that I feel is a possibility with her, and not
Well,
that.
she was pissed. I mean, could you imagine
Well, that's what I'm saying. And she was pissed, exactly. And she never sort of kind of got over it, and she still brings it up. So, but in the same token, I'm like, but the girl who is now a grown woman,
right?
for her to say that, why would she say, like, how, like, can you be that brainwashed? Like, I don't know. But anyway, the whole thing fascinates me. And I remember when it all went down. So, when it was like, if that was the news. Okay. And
Yes.
this was before we had 72 different entertainment channels. Like they were on the front page of the
All the
newspaper
time.
every day. So I'm obsessed with that. But what I was going to tell you was, so for some reason, the last weekend, I was going through Netflix. I was looking really for a documentary or a movie, and I came across Cobra Kai. And I'm like, I'm just going to put it on. I don't like fighting. I don't like violence. I was mesmerized. Oh, I had watched The
Yes.
Irishman. I'd watched which I actually worked on,
Did you really?
Yes.
Amazing.
And I saw myself in one scene really quick. And so anyway,
Long.
you know what though? I love Joe Pesci. I love, 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 love Joe Pesci.
Yeah, he's
So,
great.
So anyway, I went across Cobra Kai. I turned it on. I saw Karate Kid 1,000 years ago. I don't think I saw two. I saw the first one.
Right.
And I was hooked. And I am now officially binge watching, which is like, again, not something that I ever do. And I'm in the second season. My husband is like, comes in the bedroom last night. He goes, "Who are you?" Like, this is so not me to like sit and watch 5 episodes. So anyway, it's great. And I have another announcement to make. I have a crush on Ralph Macchio for the second time in my life. I had one originally when he did the first Karate Kid, and I now have a recrushed my crush on him. So
I have a crush on the other guy, not
Johnny,
Ralph.
who plays Johnny.
Oh, yes. He reminds me of this guy I used to hang out with who drove a Trans Am. And oh, yeah, he was awesome. He picked me up with the T-tops, the whole thing, the disco blasting. I think he's really cute. And he was so hot when he was younger.
Yeah.
No,
great. So there you go. So I said to myself, all right. And like The Crown, I mean, I know there's a lot of really great quality shows on, so I'll catch up. I also wanted to like catch up on like reading. Do you read books? I mean, are you a big reader?
I used to be a reader. And for me to sit down, it's like I read newspapers, I read magazines, and
quick, right?
Anything. Yeah.
No,
nope.
I
miss it. My mother has like a stack of books she's just gone through. I don't really have the time. I wish I did. And then I'm like, but what am I doing? It's like,
so with books,
I don't have enough
I
days.
agree with you. Every New Year's for the last 4 years, my resolution has been to read more, like read a book a week. And I have not. Okay. So we're 2021 now. I still have not done it. I have some wonderful books on my bookshelf, and I like a book. like a hard copy book.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a different discipline. You all of a sudden and then you kind of lose that discipline, and we become such an instantaneous society. I think also the phone has not, helped our attention span as it is. We're hyper
Nope.
to begin with. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So
Do you know what happened? My husband, he's like really into sleep hygiene, and my sleep has been all over the place. And he's like a scientist. If we went to Europe, he'd wear sunglasses and do he'd prepare for the time difference. Hardcore. So then when we got there, he'd hit the ground running. Meanwhile, I'd be working up until the day of departure. And it would be kind of nuts, but he's like, your sleep hygiene is really, really bad. I said, I know. He's like, what do you mean you watched the whole series? This is our series. We're supposed to watch the series together. And listen, I think I've substituted binge watching TV for sugar, and being tired and having an erratic sleep schedule. I don't know what's worse.
Right.
The sugar or the binging of
just full disclosure. So I've talked very much about my sweet addiction and how I can't stop. And so Marla shares a sweet addiction with me. And I bond with other sweet addicts because we know what that feels like. And it's really evil. And because food's a whole different thing, it's not
addiction.
Right. So we definitely, we definitely get it. And it's very annoying when people say, I'm not really into sweets. You really want to smack the shit out of them. You know what I mean? It's like, I know, it's like, first of all, don't say that out loud. That's an inside voice kind of thing. Just like the not into bread people, I don't know, I don't get that. I don't even want to know about that. That's stupid. It's stupid. So, and one of the things that I'm assuming you do as well, since you are scrolling a lot, is, keto this, paleo that, on one day, I won't be dairy today, this and that. And, the other experts say you got to drop all that because that's what makes you cuckoo. But we don't listen to that. We go and say, well, I'm going to,
Can I tell you all I get, what ads I get now? I get the toilet that's like a bidet, and it's called the Tushy, and it shoots it. And then I get that one. Then I get bras that conceal back fat. I get that. Then I get the neck lifts and all the threading. And then there was one, what else? Oh, bloating, and then how to exercise, and then makeup tips for women over 50. That's all that populates my fucking Facebook and Instagram. That's all I get.
Yes.
And then I'm like, oh, I bought a bra because I was like, okay, I haven't gone swimming and I don't know what happened to my muscle tone. And it came from China, and the Chinese have no business making bras for big busted girls.
Yeah.
With like double D's.
Right. I know. I completely agree with that. So because I tell people, about food, and I'm like, that's all I got left. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's it. That's the only enjoyment that honestly, that I have, like a good dessert. And I'm also, even like visually, when I walk by and I see, like, it was Valentine's Day. So there was, although not as much because things aren't open as much, nor under normal circumstances, you couldn't turn around without bumping into like a chocolate heart in your face, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like all the red velvet, which I realize red is just the dye. I get it. I know. I know
it's chocolate.
But it's chocolate.
It's chocolate.
Red is my favorite color. So it's very, even when I walk by the coffee carts, okay, which are not clean, they never were, the glass
and the pastries aren't that good. They're a day old, because I don't care that they're like a day old and they look better than they taste. It's like the diner 7-layer cakes. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Totally.
Yes. Listen, we can go on about this. I mean, this is our area of expertise. Cakes, cookies, pies. Like nobody knows this.
Cupcakes. Ellen, let me ask you something. If I said to you, where's the best cupcake place on the Upper East Side, what would you say?
I do like Magnolia at Bloomingdale's.
Yes.
I think that theirs are good. Some of the delis actually have some good cupcakes as long as they're in the individual,
Yes.
you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And if
Grace's Market,
Oh,
Sprinkles,
Grace's Market, yeah.
Buttercup Bakery, and then the Red Hen up on
The Red Hen,
Right.
the Red Hen.
But do you know what's so crazy? The swelling that happens to your body after you eat the sugar. I'm in agony.
Yeah.
I'm in agony.
Well, I mean, it inflames you.
I know. And you would think, I'm in agony. I can't move. I would stop. But an addict is an addict is an addict is an addict.
I know. And this fucking thing isn't helping situation.
No.
So we're gonna wrap up in a few minutes because I do another. I'm doing like a.
And I got it. Good. I got an 8 o'clock too.
Okay, good. So not good, but I want you to come back. I want to chat some more. I love talking to you. I miss you. Call me. Let's take a walk. I know it's been cold, but when it gets a little warmer, because it's been freezing.
No. Yeah. I got the moon suit. I got the I like, honestly, it's better to go walking in the cold because then you don't run into so many yahoos, and you can take down your mask a little bit because I have, I'm still 100% compliant. I recovered from COVID, so.
You had COVID, right? Yeah, that's right.
I did.
What was your situation on the scale of 1 to?
I would say, considering a very close friend of mine's father just passed from it. Oh, damn it. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Because I'm having technical difficulties. It went into my back. I didn't have a fever. I lost my sense of smell and taste. You think that would stop me from eating my comfort Rice Krispie treats? No, it didn't. And my back and my nose is still kind of crazy. And I just read something, the fact that COVID will affect 2 of your 5 senses. They don't know what the long-term effects are. So it's scary. Everybody's got to wear a mask. And I just get mental. When people have politicized this and people are dying, it makes me apoplectic. And as a comic, I shouldn't be getting all political, but sometimes I just can't help myself.
I know. And, I want to, talk a little bit about cancel culture and politics and stuff. And I feel like, I think we still, it's very important to still say whatever it is that you want to say, and definitely use humor. Humor is great. I think a great tool to do it, but we're alienating each other with this thing. And let me tell you something, who's fucking laughing? The politicians, because they're laughing all the way to the bank, whether they're on the left, the right, right. And you know what? I'm going to sound like an old schfatz now. They're all getting it under the table. All right. They're all getting stooped. They're all getting some cashola, some scratch on the side. Yes. Give me a fucking break. How come the ones that have been there for a long time are multimillionaires? And you know what? Some of the young ones also have accumulated a lot of wealth in a short period of time. I used to be an accountant. I still have an accountant brain. Everything adds up. So, and who's fighting? Us. And they're laughing. It's like you talk about the royals. It's become a kingdom. They're the fucking slaves, and they're the royalty. And that's what it's become. And the media is a part of that because now they're on more than celebrities, more than, anybody promoting a movie or anything like that. It's all about politicians. And once they allowed politicians past shows like Meet the Press and, real shows, once they were allowed to go on late nights and all that other kind of stuff, and talk shows and all kinds of stuff, then that's kind of was the beginning of the end. And now they think they got stylists, they have all of them. And that's how I feel. but it's sad. But in terms of it, listen, this thing was global. It didn't just hit the United States. There was a lot, and I certainly understood, trial and error, because it was sort of the first time, and I get it. But I feel like it got so out of hand, and like you said, it became very, and it's like, it's not about you, it's about us. What's the right thing to do? Let's do the right thing.
Right.
And by the way, can we find out the source? Okay, because I think it's man-made. I don't believe it came by some accident where two fucking
I think it's from that
test tubes.
Watch Contagion. It came from the wet markets. It's disgusting. I do also think it was engineered for biological warfare.
Yeah,
and
yeah, me too.
I think it's the China virus. On that note, lady, the China virus.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Marla Schultz, go to her website, marlaschultz.com. She's hilarious. And follow her podcasts, all her writings, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. I am Ellen Karis. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at Greek Chick Comic, Facebook, Greek Goddess Comedy, and my website, ellenkaris.com. And check out season 2, where Marla talks about how she got into comedy, which was hilarious and a great story. And her invention, her big invention.
I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check that out. Ellen, be good, and we will play.
Yeah, definitely. Bye. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie. Bye.